Well, this is coming to the last lap of this screening, and it's been a continuous exercise in the last 5 days. And then here he comes to take the usual parliamentary rituals of bowing to the maize. Engineer Saleh Mamman from Taraba State currently works at the Agricultural Extension and Rural Development, Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. He is an expert and research fellow in agricultural plant science, food science, and animal science. He is the first nominee to face the Senate today in this last lap of the screening of ministerial nominees.
Distinguished colleagues, in continuation with our screening exercise of the ministerial nominees, this morning we'll start with the engineer Saleh Mamman, the nominee from Taraba State. Mr. Nominee, on behalf of all my colleagues here, I want to welcome you to the Senate chamber, and we are already in receipt of the copies of your CV. You can choose to highlight anything you feel the Senate needs to take note of, and should you have omitted anything that you feel is of significance and consequence for this exercise, you could also highlight that. Once again, you are welcome, and you can speak and address the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The President of the Senate, Deputy President of the Senate, Principal Officers, distinguished Senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senators from my states, led by distinguished Senator Emmanuel, distinguished Senator Yusuf, distinguished Senator Shaibu Isalau, and let me also identify and extend my gratitude to one of the senators who is also my former boss and my friend, of which I served and was a consultant under one of his businesses, that is engineering, Dr. Udo Jikalu, and one or two senators that I work under them. Those people are detribalized people that I can testify before this honorable Hello Chambers. Let me also recognize the presence of my state chairman and his executive.
Engineer,
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Leave out your state chairman and his executive. You came along with them. Just address the Senate.
With due respect, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm very happy to be here, to be honored, with great privilege to appear before the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a ministerial nominee. Permit me also to extend my sincere gratitude to the President and the administration of Muhammadu Buhari Permit me also to extend my gratitude to the President of the Senate, the senators, for appearing before the distinguished senators for clearance. Both privileges I appreciate and I will cherish forever. Distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my CV is before you. All my dossier and my political antecedents is here before you. Nevertheless, let me just seize that little opportunity to also highlight a little bit about myself. My name is Engineer Saleh Mamman. I was born there 1958, 2nd October, in a village called Lau, local government. And I grew up in Jalingo. I started my education career in Kano. I am an electrical engineer by profession. I started from the scratch. I started from technical and vocational training school and graduated as an artisan, moved to technical college and graduated as a technician, moved to polytechnic and also graduated as technologist and graduated as a potential engineer. In addition, I also read management course where I graduated and specialized in human resources, master's degree in human resources. My working experience, I worked with the Taraba state government for almost 21 years and retired as assistant director, stroke, head of design and construction. My political antecedents include pioneer chairman of the fund CPC, which now metamorphosed into APC. And I also contested for Senate 2015. I lost. I was a member 2015 Presidential Campaign Council under field operation. Also a member Congress committee that conducts congresses that produce 2015 sets in Niger State. Also a member in Kaduna State Congress Committee. I'm also a member of Buhari Support Organization. Also a returning officer 2019 presidential election. Also a member National Committee for Buhari Support Organization, an organization out of the Taraba chapter, of which the President Senate was We worked together. He was our sponsor then. So many. Yeah. I'm also a member of, a coordinator, a state coordinator, also a member of Buhari Support Organization. And those are my political antecedents. I think I will stop here, sir.
Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting at chair. I would like to urge my colleagues. Engineer Mamman is not a very good orator, but he's a good staff to do the job. Good worker. He's a good worker. He's not a very good person you want to come here and mesmerize you and tell you all kinds of stories. I've worked with him in the engineering field, and I believe. Huh? No, I'm just trying to say, because you might see him having stage fright also. He's not a very good speaker. I'm addressing you, I'm trying to. Please, order. So, Engineer Saleh is not somebody you come here and put questions and allow him to showcase skill of talking. This guy is a proper engineer, and I will urge my colleagues he has been a very good supporter. Even when I was in PDP, he used to preach for me for President Buhari. He has been a very good supporter of President Buhari. He used to take transport from Taraba to come and see me in Abia, to come and sell the candidacy of President Buhari to me. And I mean, this is 1999. I'm sure Chief Theology, the Senator Theology, also knows him very well. So he's somebody we cannot waste his time. He's somebody I'd like to urge my colleagues. I would like to urge my colleagues to please to allow the ministerial nominee from Taraba to take a bow and go.
DSP.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ovie Omo Agege, Delta Central Senatorial District. Mr. President,
Order.
I rise to align myself in so many ways with the Chief Whip of the Senate. Mr. President, first I want to thank Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for this nomination. And thereafter, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Engineer Saleh Mamman. Mr. President, even the Bible recognizes that a laborer is entitled to his wages. I have known Engineer Saleh for so many years. Just as alluded by the Chief Whip, this is one very loyal, very loyal supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari. And that support did not begin today. Mr. President, I had the opportunity yesterday while chatting with some top people to say that the cabinet, the list of people forwarded to the Senate for confirmation for membership of the Federal Executive Council, you can actually describe it as a cabinet of true believers. Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari is entitled to work with the people of his choice. Elections, we are told, has consequences. He has elected to appoint Engineer Saleh as a minister. Like I said, this may not be his best moment. I have interacted with him severally. We have worked together, even in the Committee on National Committee on Buhari Support Group. I know that Engineer Saleh will add value to deliberations in the Federal Executive Council. And finally, Mr. President, there's so much fatigue here already. We've been on this nomination before how many days now? People are already tired. Are we not tired? We are tired. So therefore, Mr. President, I'm going to appeal that we allow Engineer Saleh, maybe subject to comments by people from his home state, to take a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Theodore Oji, Uchendu, Global.
Your Excellency, our President in chair, very, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator T.A. Oji Uchendu. Well, what will I say? Is to align myself with what my colleagues have said.
Exactly.
The Chief Whip mentioned my name. I won't deny that. I know him very well.
Exactly.
Will I come now and say I don't know him? He will perform when he goes there.
Exactly. DSP to approve the motion.
Therefore, I will say that he should take a bow and decide to stay or go. Thank you, sir.
Senator Mamman Goje.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Mohammed Goje, representing Gombe Central. My own is just to first associate myself with the previous speakers and thank you, Mr. President, for picking this very special professional. And going by CV as an engineer, Mr. President has made a good choice because he has come from a place that is the most inaccessible part of Nigeria. Roads leading to Jalingo from all sections of the country are very, very bad. And he's the right man. If we are lucky, maybe you go to Ministry of Works. And if you go to Ministry of Works, as somebody who knows how to live in a very inaccessible area, how do you think we will solve the problems of road network in Nigeria? Thank you.
You can respond.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator. As a former sectional head of electrical design and construction under Ministry of Works, what I used to know, when this type of issue erupts, we usually come together, a team of engineers, electrical engineer, structural engineer, quantity surveyor, architects, sit together and now put down the problem before the committee, and now discuss also and seek advice from the civil engineer who is the professional, and then his field. And I believe at the end of the day, we share the resolution and then maybe come out with something very tangible. It has been our problem for decades. These roads, it has been there. I don't know whether maybe we don't have good representative from the federal government, maybe this time around. But the case of our roads is something very pathetic. It's something that I don't want to say much about it. I don't know why and how. And that is all I can say, sir.
Thank you very much. Senator Emmanuel Buacha, the Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf, and Senator Shaibu Isalo. In that order, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as the chair. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, we are in unanimous agreement to support this nominee. But let me say a few words, Mr. President and Chairman. The nominee, distinguished colleagues you see before us today, is a thoroughbred professional. Let me slightly disagree with the whip that it's not as if Engineer Mamman doesn't talk. He doesn't blab. Number two, I want to inform us the danger with most of these people that come and talk a lot. They end up being the worst ministers. That is the truth. So let us apply wisdom. In addition, Mr. Chairman, this nominee has no PDP DNA. He is among the few, 20%, in the APC that are co-APC members, including you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not talking of those that we donated to the APC, and most of which are seated here. And you know they are faster in making noise, in a hurry to defend the APC. But the hardcore APC, we know them. Yes, like this is one of them. We know them, like me. This is one of them. A careful peruser at this resume reveals a lot of things. I know much about the nominee. In fact, he sits in the board of the Federal University of Ukari, whose bill, by the grace of God, will expeditiously pass on resumption, I'm sure, in September or October. So what I'm trying to say is, he is somebody that you can trust, very consistent, if it comes to schooling us in the art of loyalty. He's not a political tourist, no. I am so happy, and this is what we have presented to you as a caucus. But let me say that we have also agreed as a caucus that each and every one of us should have just one question to ask him, so that all of you will know that we are moving as a state. Okay. Our understanding was all of you to allow him bow, provided you are in agreement with us. If that is okay by you, we are happy. But not the kind of that comes from our political tourists to APC. That is not what I'm saying. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here is Engineer Saleh Mamman. Thank you very much.
Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf.
Very brief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. Engineer Saleh Mamman is one of us. He's a brother. He has done very, very well for the people of Taraba State. As you can see from his profile, he's an engineer, an astute one, electrical engineer. And in addition to that, he's an excellent organizer of events. organizer of resources, organizer of human resources, and what have you. So he's one of us. We cannot have a better as presented before us today. However, as my other colleagues have said, yes, he may be a slow talker. Some of us are, but he is an excellent performer. He has done very well. His record in Taraba state government over the years will show how he has performed very, very well. Politically, he has done very, very well. He contested, to be a senator, but God did not wish him to be one. But probably God wished him to be a minister in the regime of Mamman Buhari. But what I will say, I concur with what my senior colleague has said. But what I will urge him to do, I want to pray for him so that he does not have a slip of tongue that will put him as somebody who is not loyal to Mr. President, somebody who is not loyal to the government of Nigeria, and who is not loyal to the party. I thank you very much, my colleague. I will also urge, as agreed by the whole House, we thank you, and we want to ask him to bow and go. Thank you very much.
Senator Shabi Saleh.
Thank you, Mr. President, sitting in a chair, my distinguished colleagues, Isa Shoaibulao, representing Taraba North. Mr. Chair, I want to first start by thanking God Almighty for this nominee. I want to thank Mr. President for finding this nominee, this loyal ANPP, CPC, and APC party loyalists to the core. Mr. President, before I go further, I want to seek and plead for your special protection and for my colleagues' protection. As I said, this nominee is my childhood friend whom we go to primary school day in, day out. He has one problem, that today, with your protection, I want him to beg for forgiveness. When we are going to primary school, Mr. Chair and my colleagues, each time we are in a class and we are given a simple arithmetic test. When I score first, after the school, he will stop on the road and start bullying me. Yeah, he was stronger than me then. I was smallish in size, but I was the class monitor. And one of the best in the class. He is a very able and competent person. He is very, very reliable. My colleagues, I want to thank you for agreeing with Taraba caucus that this nominee takes a bow and go. Thank you.
So that he will not beat you again. So that he will not beat you again.
Mr. Chairman, he did not promise that he will never in his life again terrorize me. I seek your protection, Mr. President. Thank you, my colleague.
Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. Is it the wish of the Senate that he takes a bow and go? Yes. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Take a bow.
Santiago.
The Senate has screened Engineer Saleh Mamman from Taraba State. The electrical engineer expert has a special interest in how to make sure Nigerian roads are all motorable. He is a professional to the core, just like most of the senators who know him just described. Well, he retired as an assistant director from the Taraba state government. In 2015, he contested for the Senate, but did not make it. Engineer Saleh says he is so worried about the state of some roads in the country, especially roads that link the rural and urban centers. He said he has wealth of knowledge to contribute in making sure that Nigerian roads become motorable and then are sustained. In fact, he says he's had experience when he was working with the Ministry of Works, that he has the technical know-how to ensure that any road construction must be one that will be sustained and durable.